Okay, guys, the highlights from GreatStockPicks.com in our live trading chat room on November 5th. B-Turk, one of our chat room all-star moderators, one of the best bottom feeders I've ever seen. He called THC today. Literally right after this little tail below 42, he called THC long at 42.15 with a stop at the low of the day. So let me get this right, 24 cents below. And from 42.15, it went all the way. It doesn't look like much because it was such a big day for this one, but it went all the way to 44.21. So $2.06 move in our favor. 24 cents risk that never got stopped out. He also called HTZ, B-Turk again. The whole chat room was watching this one for a bounce. It was just getting way ahead of itself. It bounced through 20. When it went back below 20 is when he called it as it turned back up. B-Turk called this one at 19.98 with a low of day stop, which was 26 cents below. And there's the trigger, and that was the low of the day. From 19.98, this went to 21.79, $1.81 in our favor on 26 cents risk. And two fantastic calls by B-Turk. Speaking of bottom feeding, Stephen B., one of our all-stars, chat room all-star moderators, we all kind of were watching CRK too. And together as a group, we determined, hey, this one could bounce at these recent lows around 1650. So when it's getting down like this, and then form this narrow candle, nice volume, nice little green candle, Stephen B's idea was just a long over this, 1660 low of day stop, and that was the low of the day from 1660, went to 1725 on only 15 cents risk. Great call there. I called CSUN when it looked like this, just a nice little flag after the gap up. Other solars were kind of selling off, and CSUN was holding on real well. And so my thinking was, if CSUN kind of breaks this little flag and gets right up to about here, that was my entry idea. 856 with a stop at 846. A great risk reward there, and there's the trigger. And look, I mean, that's results right there. It ended up going to 9.50, almost a buck on a $9 stock on 10 cents risk. So CSUN worked very, very well for us. And I also called GTAT. GTAT, when it came down here, took out the low of the day. Generally, you'd think this is an area as it breaks the low of the day. Okay, there's the early low after the gap up. Generally, logical wisdom, logical thinking would tell you this is going to fall apart, right? It's going to fill the gap. But we've got, right here, we've got the 8-period moving average on 5-minute candles, and you've got an area where what we call a stop run can occur, okay, where most of the stops from the longs are below the low of the day. And generally, the market never makes anything easy. So if you think as it breaks the low of the day, it's a great short, generally you're going to get burned there as well. So we were looking long as a possible stop run and getting close to the 8-period moving average on 5-minute candles. And I went ahead and, as this got back up through 10, I called this long at 10.01 when it looked like this. And it got there right there with a stop only 15 cents below. And from 10.01, this almost gets back through the high of the day. It made it to 10.50. So not too bad on 15 cents risk. But if nothing else, there's a lesson here that you can be right. And see here, by the end of the day, it ended up closing fairly weak. And you're looking at that and saying, I knew I was right, but it doesn't matter. I can't tell you how many times I've been right in the market, but my timing was off and I still lost money. So it's all about timing too. So a decent charting lesson there. Be aware on a gap up as it breaks the low of the day in this scenario. Check to see where the 8-period moving average is, if it's catching up, and also consider the possibility that it might be taking out the stops and then reverse higher. But anyway, fantastic day for the room. I'll quit babbling. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.